Hello there, my name is Pavos Termoch and now we will unveil the top news of recent days. In Great Britain, the ruling party has changed. Now the Prime Minister and ministers will be Labour members. Russians, can you imagine that the country can have elections and even change the government according to the decision of the people? Power is not transferred or appointed to a successor, not overthrown by revolution. A new one is simply chosen, because what the previous one did not really satisfy the people and they choose another one. But the Russians will never understand this because their elections are either as sham as those in the Soviet Union, where 99% voted for a single candidate from the Communist Party, or their voting commission will calculate their percentages that the turmoil will be 142%, because the people in Russia do not decide anything, only the Tsar and the Kremlin. But let's return to Britain. Labour won a convincing victory there.
Congratulations to Keir Starmer and the Labour Party on their convincing election victory. Ukraine and the United Kingdom have been and will continue to be reliable allies through thick and thin. We will continue to defend and advance our common values of life, freedom and a rules-based international order. I wish the incoming government every success both in domestic affairs and in solidifying the UK's leadership on the world stage. I look forward to working closely together on strengthening the Ukraine-UK partnership and restoring international peace and security. Volodymyr Zelensky, President of Ukraine, on social network X.
Keir Starmer will be the next Prime Minister of Great Britain. The Labour Party takes 410 seats out of 650. An absolute victory. The Conservatives will have 131 seats. But of course, we are interested in what will change for Ukraine. And there is an answer. Nothing. Because we have bipartisan support in Britain too. And what about Nigel Farage, the Kremlin populist who criticized Ukraine and the West? His party won as many as 4 mandates. And Keir Starmer met with Volodymyr Zelensky back in February 2023 while in Kyiv. The head of state emphasized that the priority is to further strengthen support for Ukraine from partners and allies, among whom the UK is one of the major ones. That is why the visit of the leader of the Labour Party is extremely important. At the same time, the head of state expressed confidence that the Russian aggressor would not achieve its goals and emphasized the high motivation of Ukrainian soldiers. The president emphasized the leading defense assistance provided to Ukraine by the United Kingdom and stressed that our country's priorities today are to obtain combat aircraft and long-range weapons. Europeans are skeptical of the idea that Ukraine will win, writes Politico. The article states that EU and Ukrainian citizens have different views on the end of the war, but this is not surprising. The attitude is formed at the level of awareness, and it is far from good for everyone, unfortunately. The main theses of the article are as follows. While the majority of Ukrainians believe that Kyiv will win, Europeans are more skeptical, according to a new study by the European Council on Foreign Relations. According to the results, Europeans tend to believe that Ukraine will not defeat Russia on the battlefield. From a third to a half of respondents believe that the war will end with negotiations, and up to 31% believe Greece. In Greece. Powyżej. And up to 31% in Greece believe that Russia's victory is the most likely. Of all the surveyed countries, only in Estonia is the prevailing opinion about the possibility of Ukraine's victory. On the other hand, the majority of Ukrainians are confident that their troops will be able to win and that the country can count on the support of international allies. Only 1% of Ukrainians believe that Russia will win, and 30% believe that a negotiated settlement is the most likely outcome. The study revealed significant differences of opinion among EU countries on how to support the defense of Ukraine, as well as on the topic of Kyiv's accession to NATO and the EU. The results of the study show that NATO leaders are unlikely to find domestic support for the deployment of troops among the population. Regarding defense spending, according to the data, most countries are again increasing contributions. The exceptions are Poland, Estonia, Sweden and Germany. Therefore, Europeans are still in the grip of illusions and are not aware of the potential threat of war. However, at the same time, most Europeans still support participation in the military conflict in other ways, for example, by providing technical assistance and a significant increase in the supply of weapons and ammunition. Only in Bulgaria, Greece and Italy, the majority of the population, 63%, 54% and 53% respectively, consider increasing the supply of ammunition and weapons to Ukraine a bad idea. And this is the result of filling the information space with necessary messages. Europeans' opinions about the benefits of Ukraine joining the EU are also divided. Portugal, Estonia, Sweden, Spain and Poland are most favorable to it, and Germany, Bulgaria, the Czech Republic and France are the most skeptical. Among Ukrainians, almost two-thirds believe that membership in the EU is as important for the future of their country as membership in NATO, and this is a good indicator of a change in priorities. All this information is more than interesting. All this could lead to an even greater loss of support and a reduction in aid. And this is exactly what the Kremlin and Moscow are working on now. They understand that they will not defeat Ukraine by force, so they are trying to put pressure on the partners. And so I want to tell you just one thing. Ukrainian soldiers and Ukrainians are resisting Russia, and you should resist it too. Deadly glide bombs that Russia has used to such great effect to pound Ukrainian cities into rubble have also been falling on its own territory. An internal Russian document has revealed at least 38 of the bombs, which have been credited with helping drive Russia's recent territorial advantages, crashed into the Belgorod region on the border with Ukraine between April 2023 and April 2024, according to the document obtained by the Washington Post, though most did not detonate. Roughly comparable to the more advanced American JDAM guided bombs, these glide bombs are large Soviet-era munitions retrofitted with guidance systems and winds that experts say often fail, resulting in impacts on Russian territory. The majority of the bombs were discovered by civilians, forest rangers, farmers, or residents of villages surrounding the city. In most cases, the defense ministry didn't know when the bombs had been launched, indicating that some of them could have been there for days, if not more. According to the document, at least 4 bombs fell on the city of Belgorod itself, with a population of about 400,000 people. An additional 7 were found in the surrounding suburbs. The most, 11, fell in the Kremlin border region, where some could not be recovered because of the difficult operational situation. While the bombs usually fail to detonate, one of the first recorded hit-ins in Belgorod in April 2023 did explode when it crashed into a normal busy street, creating a crater 65 feet wide, shattering windows and hurling parked cars onto roofs of buildings. The impact happened at night, however, and no casualties were reported. A day later, a second unexploded bomb was found buried 23 feet into the ground. Russian military acknowledged at the time that the accidental release of aircraft munition from a Russian Su-34 fighter bomber was behind the explosion. The document later confirmed it was FAB-500, a glide bomb carrying 500 kilos or 1.1 thousand pound payload. A crater 65 feet wide in Belgorod, Russia, was caused by a large bomb explosion on April 21, 2023, officials said. Local authorities generally remain quiet about the incidents, only reporting accidents, blaming Ukrainian shelling, or just not reporting the various explosions rattling the area, particularly more often now. On May 12, another blast destroyed several stories of an apartment block in Belgorod, killing 17 people. The Russian military blamed a Ukrainian missile, while the Conflict Intelligence Team, a Russian research group specializing in open-source investigations, said that from the video seen indicated it was a result of another accidental FAB-500 bombing of a rogue aircraft missile fired by a Russian defense system. According to its own tallies, Astra estimated that Russia has accidentally dropped more than 100 bombs on its own territory as well as occupied areas in eastern Ukraine over the past 4 months, the same period that has seen a major increase in the use of these very glide bombs. The Russian government has not responded to a request for comment on the document or reports of failed glide bombs. In late March, the Defense Ministry announced the development of a new, heavier version of the glide bomb, the FAB-3000, weighing twice as much as the next biggest model. The number corresponds to the weight in kilos, making it more than 6,000 pounds. It was finally deployed June 21st against the Ukrainian village of Liptsi. The misfires for the enormous new FAB-3000 are already being reported. On June 29th, one crashed into an empty field near Shebekino and exploded, but there were no casualties according to Astra publication. That concludes our today's video. Thank you for watching. Stay updated, comment, like and subscribe to our UATV channel for more news from Ukraine, and not only. It is your support that really matters for us. Goodbye.